All right, I just started
Got
now.
it.
Okay, now we can all say how we look like 80s rockers that just woke up.
No, I am definitely not a 80s rocker.
You
No, I
look the
can't.
same as you did when you went to sleep. I look like, and it's humid and nasty out.
Dana,
Over-
did you sport a
But I
mullet back
still
in the
have
day?
hair. But I still have hair. Just a point.
Oh, you
Hey,
do
Dana.
have, you do have some wisps. I'm just kidding. Now
I
you're
have
very handsome.
hair.
Dana, you're very handsome.
Oh,
Let's see.
Dana,
Well,
did you
you're
sport a
very
mullet back in the
pretty.
day?
she is.
Get off. Okay. I
Wow.
want to see Patch this morning. Come on, Patch. Show yourself, Patch. Do it. Dumb.
Oh, there is my
I just
buddy.
woke up.
I'm in freaking bed. It's cold out here in Ohio.
Where are you in Ohio?
Lima? Yeah, Lima.
Oh,
North
Lima?
Lima?
Lima, yeah.
You know what? I used to ride my
that run
motorcycle
I
out
did
there,
the-
bud.
That run I did the other night from Wisconsin was a direct run. I drove
Oh.
all fucking night.
Oh
I
my
got in
gosh.
Chicago. I got in Chicago. There was a wreck just before I got onto the exit. So I had to freaking grab another route. And I could never grab the right blue road. I ended up freaking looping around once before I freaking was able to get back on track.
Oh,
So I used up my hour that I had extra to grab a power nap.
Oh,
So I pulled into Ford down here. Like, I got unloaded and freaking came over here and went to bed.
Yeah.
It was a rough night.
You know, I used to when I was a kid, and in fact, that's why I got a motorcycle now. But when I was a kid, because we lived in just outside of Beaver Falls, Chippewa,
Yeah.
and so I would ride over to Lima and North Lima, all that on my motorcycle, and try to get lost, just to figure out where the roads were over there. I'd purposely try to get lost, so that's why I just picked up a motorcycle now. I'm going to try to get lost again, although some people say I'm lost already.
You grew up in Ohio?
No, Pennsylvania. So Jill and I were neighbors.
Very.
And we grew up in South Beaver, Chippewa, South Beaver, that area.
Yeah, North Lima isn't very far from where we live.
Nope.
Uh,
Yeah, that was
Wait,
I was
show
skipping a
yourself.
jump. My brother lives in New Galley.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's
That's
right on the
nice.
Enna New Galley. It's actually the road's actually called Enna New Galley or New Galley Enna New yeah, something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
So he
But yeah.
lives out in the farm country.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. His house was built on a farm out there. Mhm.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Pretty area out there though, Patch.
I want Dwayne to show himself. This is how we look in the morning. I'm recording this. I'll put it
Yeah,
live.
I haven't done much cruising around because usually when I'm not running, whatever gas I use comes out the last run. So I do whatever I got to do, and that's about it. I did wash my house yesterday,
Morning,
though.
Dwayne.
Morning. Wait, you said you lost your house yesterday?
No, I washed it.
Oh,
I went through the truck wash. It's like, I want to wash my house. The guy looks at me. Yeah, it was only $20, but I gave the guys a tip. Get the crap off.
All right. What were we talking about earlier? We were talking about names. We were talking about you were this morning saying how there were 8 presidents before Washington. That's true. I didn't realize it was any sort of conspiracy because
presidents or generals?
they were generals. That's how I learned it. There were 8. Okay, so all our presidents were generals or in the Army or Navy or whatever. They were all not the Navy, obviously. But they were all in the military or Masons, right? Same difference. They came over from the UK trying to make something new here, but they were still Masons because they knew what the evil Masons were about. And that's what it was, the black blood.
Oh, that's right.
I thought all blood was red. Now you're telling me there's black blood? Oh my God.
that
You
that
know,
Obama
Oh,
was
my
not
life
the
is
first black
ruined.
president. I don't even think Obama is a black president
mm.
No,
as
he's
an
an
African
asshole.
American, how it should be looked at.
So that thing that I posted this morning was a whole. It was starting to get into Obama and his background and all that stuff. There's oh, he's a minister, but he's like so detailed, a black minister. Guy's amazing to listen to. But that was who I posted this morning. I started listening to it and it was like, oh, this is going to be good stuff because this guy is really good. But yeah,
What's his name?
oh, I was afraid you were going to ask me that.
And this is in MAGA Funk?
Where, when, why, how, what.
Yeah,
Always,
yeah.
always
Okay.
always for everything. And if you don't
Okay, hold on. I'm getting
learn
there
to
from
do it,
here. Let me
Can't
see.
get up,
forget.
you know.
I'm terrible with names. Oh, geography and names, my two bad.
You know what I finally did this morning? I took the coding for this meeting along with the password and saved it as a note because I'm always trying to figure out, okay, where the hell did Carolyn send that
I
to?
don't know how the hell you do that. That would be
What's
handy
that?
for me.
Make a
So
note.
what?
No,
So
I've always got to type the password in, and behind the wheel, it's a bitch.
yeah. So
Unless I'm
what you
part.
can do is a copy and paste. Okay, let me get there from here.
I'm confused what you're talking about. I'm sorry. What?
Okay, so when our Zoom meetings, I
Right.
can't press the you've given me the
The link.
supposedly the link
right.
exactly, and it
copy of the
doesn't
link.
work. So what I do is that I
How
have
does it
to.
work?
I don't know. It doesn't work.
Second iPhone.
Okay.
Second
Darn it.
iPhones.
Oh, with Larry. Is it Larry Gators? Oh, I can't remember. Remember. Yeah, doesn't mean.
Oh, you were still trying to figure out the name. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. I think it's too early for all of us. We're like blah blah
What'd
blah
you
blah.
say?
No, we were having a very right. What's going on? We were having a very eloquent discussion about, but I'd rather be recorded, no matter how stupid we sound. At least maybe we could get some of the points out that there were 8 generals before Washington that were technically leaders of, and that's why when Patch the other day said that our Declaration of Independence had to do with the Native Americans, actually kind of can make sense there.
Yeah, there was a lot of the wording that the American Indians had written.
There was
A lot of
well,
assumption or whatever they want to call it, but
you had native tribes that were savage, and I hate to use that word, but that was what they were. And they'd fight, and I know plenty of Native Americans that would say that, yeah, in my history, they were just all bloodshed. That's all they did. And then you had the spiritual, beautiful side of the Native Americans.
yeah, you
that
had some that were just
these
people.
concepts of humanity and maybe even a very slight legal system to their beliefs, and that might be where we got that concentration. Studying with them, putting feelings into words, putting spirituality into words, putting religion, thought into words.
Right.
Parents had the education, they even had the philosophy, but maybe they didn't have it as in depth as these Native Americans have because they lived it.
Exactly.
Wouldn't it be so cool to be able to go back in that period of time, take time travel and go back and just see how people lived, be able to, oh my God, to be able to stand next to your whatever 11th, 12th, 13th great grandfather and see the challenges that they faced, and as they plowed the fields or they worked in the stores or whatever. I mean, it would just, I mean,
Just
that
to
would
tell
just
them
be
not to go to
phenomenal.
California.
Let's
What's
see.
that?
Just to tell them don't go to California. Stay the fuck out of there. Please don't.
Yeah, the stupid oh, I won't go there.
So do we have time travel?
Well,
I
and
still
that's a
can't
very good
remember.
question. We talked about that the other day.
Did we record it? I'm sorry, I gotta take something from my tooth is killing me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
be dopey now, but I don't take
We talked about the
rarely take
different
that.
paths.
Huh?
Well, you know
Right.
what? I talked about it, about the
You-
different paths that occurred, and that you have, you know, that they'll look. I'll call it the White Hats. I'll call it the whomever. And I think JFK Jr. had something to do with this, and obviously Tesla did, because I think he's the one that developed it. And thank you for the clarification on John Trump versus
Oh, right. Yes, John Trump
yeah,
was
the uncle
Donnie's
versus the
uncle.
dad.
He was the
Yeah,
physicist in World War I and II. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, you've taught me a few things. And it's going to be a learning experience for all of us, and I love that. I
Well,
love that you're cooperative. Don't ever think that I'm trying to be rude or demanding or in charge. I
no,
spit it out and get it out there.
my
Move
skin
on.
isn't that thin,
I
Caroline.
know. I know. At this point,
Yeah.
Dana, you're awake. At this point, can it be? I mean, everything has changed in my life since I woke up. Everything. What I look at, what I eat, what I listen
Wait,
to.
you mean you are? Wait, are you woke? Just
No.
kidding.
Not like that, but it's funny.
Joking. Okay, sorry.
Isn't that the most
A little bit of
disgusting-
brevity.
Oh, we were talking about that changing the words around. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
How you
Yeah,
said,
they have.
where the hell did Jill go? Because she said it the right way. They're twisting those words where a woke is
Hey,
supposed to be. Go
Hey,
on.
Williams, where the hell are you? Okay. She's busy.
She might be letting the cats out. Or maybe John's up.
Yeah.
Both have Johns.
Yeah.
John.
So where do we go? I'm trying to go back to the hook where we were before.
I know it's a lot, and I don't mean to put us on the spot. I'm not going to edit this because
No, keep it real.
right. I want people to see this is really how it is.
Real.
When I have enough people on and I feel like we're talking, and Dana is a great add to this, whatever I'm trying to do. I don't even know what I'm trying to wake you up. Trying to wake you up. You're not.
But you know, yeah.
Oh, the woke are not awake. That was how she said
Right.
it.
Yeah.
And
True.
those that even think that they're awake are not fully awake.
No, the woke are put to sleep.
Yeah.
The woke are still sleeping.
Exactly. They're the manipulators.
Yeah. It's really scary. We have a big job. And I know it's going to take people, they're going to be like, no, this is all fake.
Yeah.
It can't be.
I'm not scared. I'm fucking annoyed.
Well, yeah.
I'm
mean,
scared
they're just-
for people.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
But
scared.
no.
Yeah, all right.
My mother is
Thing
going to,
is,
I'm going to use mom for an example. She's 78 years old. She's been hearing this shit her whole life. Because I was at the dinner table while Reagan was president, and I asked mom and dad, what's the difference between Republicans and Democrats? And they kind of laughed at me and said, not much, because literally the way that they took it,
Good answer. Not much.
they were like, not much. Because
Not
they
much.
hadn't seen good or bad from either or. They've seen, I should say, they saw good and bad in both. So what they did was they didn't even remember at the time, or I might have asked them a little later on in life, what are you, Republican or Democrat? And they didn't remember. One of them had registered as a Democrat and one of them as a Republican to stay
Yeah.
even. So that was embedded in my mind as a child, I'd imagine. And then Ross Perot came along as independent. And I'm like, ooh. Cool.
You know how I always, and maybe I'm wrong, but I always thought that
Republican was for big business, and that you believe in top-down type of economy,
Yep.
you know. And if you have, if business is doing well, then that funnels down to the worker. And as opposed to the Democrats, which are looking for the government to control them, and they get free handouts, but it's government controlled, versus Republican, which is controlled at a lower level. You know, it's controlled at the local level, at the community level, and then that builds up through the state, and then finally to the federal government, and they have less power at the federal government, as opposed to the Democrats that have enormous power at the federal government and tell everybody what the fuck to do because they know better than everyone else.
Wow, you just said it so beautifully so early. That is it in a nutshell. Oh boy.
That's about it. If you give them handouts, they won't want to do anything for themselves.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. You teach them
I
how to
always,
fish and they'll always be able to eat.
there it is. There it is.
I want that.
Simple. And you watch West Wing. Okay, now people are saying that the show, what's it called? The one I watched it, The Handmaiden's Tale. Like it's
Oh.
about it's making the Republicans look bad. I stopped watching it. I thought I'd give it a chance because she's the same girl that was in West Wing. She played Zoe, the daughter of Charlie Sheen. Not Charlie. Oh God.
Oh.
God forbid Charlie Sheen was president. What a faux pas. I am so sorry I even said that. Erase, take it out. Martin Sheen. I can't even imagine. Monica Lewinsky's would be crawling all over the place. Martin Sheen. And probably Monet Lewinsky's, you know, like men. I don't know what's the male name of Monica. I don't know if there is one. But whatever it is, because I think Charlie Sheen likes it in and out.
No.
So.
Wait, what's Monica Lewinsky have to do with Charlie Sheen?
No, it was Martin Sheen that played the president of the United States in West Wing.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have never watched West Wing? Come on.
No, I did. I actually loved it.
Now, the whole concept of West Wing is now what the Republicans believe.
That girl was also in Mad Men
Which one was Mad Men?
with Don Draper. Oh, it was very good. I think it was Netflix.
It's a movie or?
No, it's a series.
No, I never watched it.
Yeah, I
It
try to
was
stay
pretty
away.
good. I watched it for a while.
I can't. I'm too awake. I can't watch any of it anymore. I am way too.
You know
awake.
what? Oh, yes.
And I just find it completely odd that I've been watching Murder, She Wrote on and off for the last 4 or 5 months, like mostly on. I can't tell you she has taken me because I've learned more. See, back then, we didn't have all the action and the photo and the technique, so they had to use their words.
Right.
And I learned so much from these old shows, Columbo, you know, all the legal. I'll sit there and watch Judge Judy for hours because I'm learning legality. I don't care what people think. And a lot of it is redundant. I think some of it's wrong. But it is the British law. That's where we get our law from. People have to wake up. It's not American law. It is not. It is not the constitutional law. I don't know.
Bar.
It's the bar exam from Britain.
Right.
I don't know
And the
why.
maritime law is pretty much everything.
Maritime law is, well, we do have had command of maritime law. And I was telling Dana earlier, because he said that 6 military, we have
6 military operations controlled by the president. That's Q.
And I believe that one of them is probably in charge of maritime law, which is either located in Geneva or one of them.
I never thought about that, Carol, but that's probably it. And
It has
so you
to
break
be.
it
The
down,
ships
that's
were all
probably the
stopped.
6
We have the
things.
stopping in the Suez Canal. We have the ships stopped at the California. It all fits in, baby.
Right, and you have to have control of maritime law to pull that off because that's like the waterways.
Bingo.
You can't just walk up there and say, pull your ship over, please.
It was erased from our history. It had to have been erased because this cannot be a coincidence that the flag had the fringes on it all that time.
Right. Yeah, it was.
I've
I
known
would.
that
I
for
would
years.
say after the
Right.
Civil
A lot of
War or
people realized
Revolutionary
it, but
War.
they still owed, but that's not true. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Stop
the
believing
gold
even
princes got to
Google.
leave the royal
Stop it.
family, but we don't have them anymore. I mean, they may still wear them, but we don't need them. That
What?
shit's gone.
We don't need what? I'm sorry.
The
Where?
gold fringes. Not now. We got our sovereignty back now.
Oh, now we have sovereignty. Yeah.
We
Well,
publicized yet.
soon. I don't know. The reason why I really wanted to do a live today, I know we're all stinking a mess, and look, Patch is still in bed in his comfy little mobile home. But
Yeah, well,
it is October 13th. This was, I believe, when royalty was taken over by the elites and Illuminati, the true bloodlines of Christ. And people, you know, I'm not very religious, but I have to believe there's something to this logically.
there is something, yeah.
Yeah, I have to believe it, because it just makes too much sense. So when they said, what was it? What year? 13? What was the year?
1307.
So it was 10/13, 1307,
Which was a Friday.
and it was Friday, and today's
Yep.
Thursday. So who knows by this time next year? Woof. Anyhow, woof.
Okay, so what's the significance of the date again?
Go on, you explain it, Jill.
Who said that?
Dana.
Dana.
Okay, the date harkens back to 1307 back in France.
Mm.
Philip
Harkens.
IV, who was king of France at the time, conspired with the Vatican to take away the Knights Templars' wealth and to kill
Yep.
them.
Yeah, because they had a banking system superior to the Rothschilds.
That's right.
That's how
So-
freaking old. People don't realize how old this goes back. Do you think if people this
Exactly.
old that still have the same name today don't have some kind of control?
Right.
Wake up.
Yep.
Wake the fuck.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you're not going to keep a name like that if you're like not in charge.
Ain't gonna fool this fucking girl.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Get the hell out of here. How do you believe this? And then you look at Tom Hanks, you look at Ellen DeGeneres, you look at Oprah Winfrey, and look at their ancestry. Look at Bill Gates. Gates is a changed name. I'll explain that in another episode. Perhaps it's not worth going into right now. We'll do one on Bill Gates and all that crap.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, not for me, but
He's a
whatever.
farmer.
You guys have to
He's
learn.
a farmer now.
I'm a little out of it. Sorry, it hurts.
The largest farmer, in fact.
Yeah.
Farmer Gates. It's not
Oh,
Bill
Farmer
Gates.
Bill.
You guys know that Walmart controls underground water?
No, I never heard that one.
I found that out a few weeks ago, and I just remembered that.
Dwayne,
Walmart
you
is
do it?
in control of the water underground. Bill Gates controls the farmland because the water underground is treated different than surface water.
Oh, okay. So they can't possibly own all of it yet.
No, well,
Possibly.
they've pretty much got control of everything amongst them as a group, yeah, as a whole, because they all got certain things. And then they collaborate, like they've always done. You know, the oil collaborates with the bankers and the freaking, you know, the automotive industry, and then the rail system. They all have their thing they control to bring to the table.
We're gonna do some research on that. We'll have a show on that.
Who,
To the October. Oh, I just want to. Unless Dana, you want to say something? I'm sorry.
no, I was watching the History Channel this week, and they were talking about the railroads. And I'm trying to remember the guy that took over. He had the railroad system in New York, and he wanted to expand it out, or he wanted control of it out west. It was a different I'm trying to remember who the person
Carnegie,
was.
right?
How long ago? Like what year?
We're talking 1800s
Oh,
when they, yeah. And I'm trying to remember the guy's name.
I think
But
I knew it once, but I can't remember. I know it wasn't Carnegie.
But you're right. It's one of those.
well,
It's a recognized name.
oh,
Yeah, and I can't for whatever. I just can't think of it. I'm pretty sure I knew it once. Now I can't remember it at all. But yeah, he controlled the railroads. It's like back in the day. There's a telephone company that's older than all of it.
oh yeah,
I can't remember their name now. They set up all the poles and the lines back in the day. That's where everything sprung off of.
Oh,
did you see that picture I put up in Women Warriors back then when they had the worst snow blizzard in New York? Like they were literally above the doors on snow.
Yeah, I wondered who put that up.
I did. And there were all those wires. So many. But the fact is, I'm guessing that picture is 100 years old.
Oh,
Close
yeah.
to it.
Oh, you're talking about Ma Bell.
Yes.
No, it's even older than Ma Bell.
Oh, I thought it was Mom. Either
No, it's the very beginning of setting things up, more or less.
Edison?
Edison.
No, it's
Edison got the credit.
What about Stevens?
Hearst.
there used to be a commercial about it when I was in Connecticut. I remember.
Hearst was a big name in New York. I think
Right.
Jerry said he was the first one to start the New York Times or something, one of the papers. By the way, the New York Times, New York Post, they're actually,
I'm gonna get up
I
and
don't
get dressed.
understand how they're getting, but they're getting their word out there. I keep playing with things in my hand. What else were you talking about, Dan? Oh, we were back to October 13th. So this is the time when the Masons were able to get so much control because now they had control over the Vatican. And the UK and wherever else. So next year it will be Friday the 13th. Maybe the Masons will, maybe it will be totally over.
Next year is let's see.
The age of Aquarius is coming. The biblical times are coming. Everything seems to be pointing to this certain phase. The earth is tilting back into its normal position. If you're a flat earther, then they believe that the water is being recycled or something like that to its fullest extent. You know, Dana, are you there?
I am. I'm listening.
When Trump says there's liquid gold under our feet, what's the first thing you think of?
Oil.
Oil.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you all think that way?
Yeah, but it's got to be something else, and we're not seeing it. I know.
Oh, yes, it is.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm beginning to think, okay, there are, gosh, I'm not that great at chemistry, but there are two elements together that
Gold
will create
and silver.
what?
Gold and silver.
No, I think it's mercury. I think, okay, I'm beginning
When I was
to
a kid, I
believe.
used to love playing with mercury.
Oh, yeah, sure. No wonder you are. No wonder we're so fucked up. Believe in all these conspiracies.
Oh yeah, you hold it in your hand.
Adder, ladies and gentlemen. He played with mercury.
Found out what it was. Then I quit.
No, but okay, now listen.
Yeah.
You have the pyramids have the gold on the top, the actual Egyptian pyramids have the gold on the top and the mercury on the bottom. it's believed in the Bible. Who's the one that carried Jesus across the water? And-
Moses? No.
No.
No, no.
Christopher. No, it wasn't Christopher. That was
Peter? Yeah. I don't
all
recall it,
leads down to
Christopher.
him. Jesus taught him a lesson that
Oh, to walk on water?
no, he carried Jesus on his shoulder across the water. And he became heavier for the man who never had a problem carrying people across the water. So he was teaching the man a lesson, or the man may have been a god or something, some kind of. And the man that I can't remember who it was, darn it, see, it's too early. But he wore a belt, and the belt's chemical sign was mercury. And we had General Bird, who wanted to go back to the Antarctic.
Right.
Okay, this man was renowned. I mean, he had ticket day parades. He was a military officer. He was Navy, I think. And he wanted to go back to the Antarctic, and they wouldn't let him. And he's the one that said there was mercury there. Liquid gold. So you got, and so if we believe in, like, it doesn't even have to be the flat earth stuff, but it just happened to be where I learned some of this from. They always took a missing element away from us to give endless energy. Now, we have in the last 30 or 40 years, I'd say they've been using, I mean, we always use mercury to make hats and blah, blah, blah. But in the last 40 or 50 years, we've been using it for like light bulbs, certain other things, right? We use it in our thermometers, do we?
Right.
Am I wrong? Okay, so, but when you find out the Egyptian pyramids had gold on the top and mercury on the bottom, there's something to that. People believe they're,
Well,
yeah, go on. Please, somebody take
yeah,
over.
there might-
You understand where I'm coming from now?
Yeah. So are we talking about, I think electricity has been known for years. And I think it's been, yeah. And it's the only reason that we have what we have is because they needed to quantify it so that they could get paid for it, because electricity is really free.
And power. And I don't mean power as in electricity. It gives them power. Power
Right.
over people. You can't afford this, then you ain't getting it.
Who come up with the idea to charge us for electricity?
It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
We're a nation. This, you don't do it for yourself, motherfuckers. It's never been that way. It should
That was
never have been that way. You do it
That
for
was-
everybody.
no.
You break the code for the internet, we give you the best applause. You go live your life in luxury, whatever, but we get the internet. We get pure drinking water. We should get infrastructure. And if it has to be in our flat tax to maintain, then so be it. There are certain things, medical. I definitely believe that everybody should have medical.
Yeah.
Not like socialistic medicine. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's what Obamacare completely pretty much is.
No.
No.
Well, okay, let's put it this way.
An enormous cost.
If you believe in the medical beds, Obama was making money off of it.
Sure he was.
There were people that couldn't afford Obamacare. So why is it Obamacare? What good is it if regular people at that time making $9-10 an hour couldn't afford to pay monthly Obamacare? Then what good is it? That's the average person. At least that was in New York at that time. Okay, I'm giving an example of, because I definitely know friends working for that. I was a bartender, so I did not make money like that. I made more earlier. Anyhow, but what was I on about? You see, I'm like, I freaking hate myself.
Well, we were talking about mercury.
Yeah, but yeah. So
The
the
liquid
two,
gold.
so the two combined is probably what Tesla knew. It gives us endless energy. It's what the pyramids did way back when. They had some kind of cellular communications, or they used the stars. So the stars are there, and they're probably a map. They probably are a map, regardless what you think of space or whatever. There's some kind of map. At least we have used it as such.
Yeah. What would be safe to assume, I guess?
What do you think the stars are then? Do you think we're the only terrarium?
No, I doubt it.
See? So are
I
they
don't
all
know about the
terrariums?
stars. Yeah. I don't know about the stars because I think we do have people from other planets. I believe in that. But I also believe that the Earth is flat.
From what I understand, there's gateways down below.
Wormholes,
Yeah.
baby.
And the gateways are what allows outsiders in and out. But as a whole, we are in a dome, which we cannot get past.
Which makes me feel like we're pets,
Yeah, right.
test rats.
Well, nobody scratches my ears, motherfuckers.
No, but it's possible that our
Good boy,
gods
good
are
boy.
protecting us.
Right.
It could be your God, your Christian God. It could be Jesus. I don't know, but they could be protecting us. This is their way. You know, God, if you know Star Trek episodes like I do, at least I'm not talking about the older ones. Some of the older ones too. They make so much sense. Like,
Next
these people
generation.
they knew so much. Like who
The
brought
next-
up the abyss the other day? Y'all knew they told us. Because all the people that make money, writers, producers, actors, they killed what's his name that wrote the Space Odyssey. The 2000
uh,
uh,
you mean David Bowie?
No.
no, not the music. No, the movie
Oh,
Space Odyssey in what, 2010 or something?
2001. Was it 2001?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2001 and 2010 Space Odyssey. And he made other ones.
2001. 9/11.
Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick.
Sure. There you go.
They killed him. All right, in Eyes Wide Shut, which I could
Yep.
barely get through because it's not my type of movie, but I knew I had to watch it to get some hints. He was telling us shit in there. He was telling us shit in the, and
Yeah.
they killed him. They
Yep.
killed him. At
Yep.
the very end of,
And he also did A Clockwork Orange, which is hard to watch.
Yes, it is.
but
I
he's
agree.
telling
I
us,
still can't watch it.
I
It's
know.
fucking
It's
creepy.
very confusing.
I can't even watch that actor sometimes, and she's in Murder, She Wrote. I can't believe she died. I think
Angela,
Lansbury. I think
Lansbury.
she was actually, like, you have Angela Lansbury, Julia Childs, you have B. Arthur. I think I was mentioning some of these the other day. They, I believe, are heroes on the feminine side. They did their part. Truck drivers, spies, informatives, they did a lot. And I think Angela Lansbury tried to tell us in her freaking show. And they didn't care because they
No.
thought our eyes would never open. That's why the movie was called Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
I can't watch it. And you're right, I can't watch Clockwork Orange. I did at one point. I couldn't as I got older. It's
Yeah, I've
terrifying.
watched it
It's
years ago,
true.
and I still can't watch it. It's fucking creepy, freaky. It's fucking
It's true.
screwy.
That they're so fucking inbred, and they're only taught to do the one thing. So if it's acting, they're fantastic actors. Like Tom Hanks. And those
Yeah,
are-
he was actually a Rothschild and Rockefeller.
oh yeah. All right.
I didn't know that.
He is related to Washington.
George,
Ellen DeGeneres.
really?
Yeah, because they're all related to what? There's a few. Okay, yeah, a few of them are related to our presidents. And you know why? When you said, guys, before that there have been black presidents, well, yeah, because we have people that are black now that are related to our presidents.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Yeah, a lot of
and the
Congress
Bushes,
black.
Jackson, Jefferson, these are black names, people.
supposedly the Bushes are related to the Obamas.
Yes, I have
I've
heard
heard
that.
that too. Yeah, I heard that too.
So
Dana, what are
Obama-
you making?
You know what? Yesterday I picked up lamb, ground lamb,
Yeah.
and so I make them into burgers, and then I just throw it on the grill. So I mixed in some. I chopped up some garlic, and then I put some feta cheese in there, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then I just
Ooh,
make up
that sounds
burgers.
good.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, I won't eat lamb.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, lamb is and you know what? You get I have this recipe that I'm going to try. You make up, it's a sauce that goes on top of the lamb burger, but
Yeah.
you put it into a blender, and it's or a food processor, and it's basil, cream cheese. Ooh, what else? You could probably use sour cream too. But the aioli, mustard, a
Oh,
little bit
yeah.
of garlic, and you mix it all together, and it makes this cream sauce.
I
It's
just can't. I love the cream sauce. I just won't eat the lamb. I won't eat goat, lamb. I just don't eat certain. I won't
Why?
eat venison.
Tasty.
Growing up in Brooklyn, we had a lot of nationalities, and all of them would celebrate what they, So we'd go to it was an Alpha school. I don't know what kind of school it was, but there was a Greek church across there, Greek Orthodox church, and they'd have celebrations every year for like the Greek holidays, and probably around Easter, I'd imagine. And they'd have the goat or lamb on the spinner.
Mhm. Oh, with the garlic.
I've tried it. I've been there. I've done it. I've had snake. I've had rabbit. I've had you name it. I've had it. But I choose at this time in my life, not to eat certain creatures. I cannot. I won't eat snails. I love them. I think they're cute.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, escargot. The first time I had escargot was when Cindy and I got married down in St. Martin.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, this is delicious. Yeah.
Really? It's that good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
No.
It was that good. Yep. Garlic and butter, and they cook it, and it's just like, poof.
And they pop in your mouth, right?
Yes. Popping fresh.
I would take them home as friends. They'd be my friends. I couldn't eat them. Oh, and a little lamb.
You're
Yeah, we had one. It's my middle name. No.
So,
I love chicken, but they're ugly, foul creatures.
sure.
I'm kidding. I don't know. I have problems eating certain things sometimes. And I'm not vegetarian by any means. Like, I'll pound down pepperoni, but give me a pork chop and I'll be like, no, can't eat it.
Well, it's like you can't eat deer, can you?
No. Bambi?
Right.
No.
Right. I understand that.
But Mom was from the Ukraine. She used every part of the animal.
Yep.
So I have tried it all. I have tried everything from brain to
I love brain. Ooh.
to gizzards. You name it. And
Ham hocks, brain,
Yeah.
souse.
Yep.
Oh, man.
oh, pig's feet, jelly.
Yeah.
No. No. Most
Sorry about the background noise.
That's okay. It's funny because I'll feed my dog like gizzards and hearts and stuff. You know, I'll cook it for him. I don't like canned food. People, it's much cheaper to buy shit out of the cow and chicken and crap and feed your dogs and your cats. It really is cheaper and healthier. And then I remember Dwayne saying, "Yes, man, I could eat a bowl of that right now." I'm like, "Oh, get it. Kidneys, and they're actually good for you. It provides a lot of iron and it's good for you. But I just
Mom and dad used to make the liver. No,
Oh, I
Not
love
doing it.
liver.
not doing it.
Oh, it's so good.
what did he say?
Liver and onions smells
Oh.
delicious. Oh, yeah, shoot me.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
But you can eat lamb.
Oh yeah, I can eat lamb. But I can't eat liver. Nada.
Not even
Yeah.
liverwurst.
I have had borscht.
Me too.
Liverwurst. I said liverwurst.
White.
Liverwurst.
Oh,
liver-
yeah, I've eaten
liverwurst.
that too.
Yeah.
Liverwurst.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
So in the journey of Baron Trump, his name is Trump. Croomp. What was the name of the guy? Inglewood? What was the author's name? People look it up. The journeys of young Baron Trump or something like that. And
Yeah.
they're supposed to have mentioned Pence, Fifth Avenue, and Putin
Yeah,
And a
that's so
book-
bizarre.
in a book made in 1893. You want to explain it to me? Go on. I know. I don't know why I know. I just know. I always know something. Or at least I have ideas of what it is. I'll wait for you guys to give me
Time travel.
time
What's that?
travel.
All right.
Time travel. Time and relative dimension in space. Why a dimension in space, huh? How many dimensions? How many dimensions do we see?
How many dimensions in space?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, no, how many dimensions do we see? We're supposed to see how many dimensions? 3 dimensions.
We see 3.
We see things in 3D.
Right, but there's also time, there's also space,
But yeah, but what I never understood, right? So I'm standing in front of my artwork. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, it's a still life, and the still life is behind it, and I'm in front of both of it. What am I seeing? I'm seeing
Well,
that's already 3D, kind of. I'm not that great of an artist, but I have seen things that you would want to just pick that apple out of the picture. People are, and then I'm actually seeing the 3D, and then between it all is time and space. I don't know if I can explain it any simpler than that. I love Doctor Who. It explained a lot to me. People knew. So if you're an ant and you're that small and you're walking on a wire, does it know when it's walking upside down? on that
More
wire.
than likely, yes.
Like I'm trying to I don't know how else to explain like string theory because I barely grasp it myself.
What theory?
Relatively the string theory that we see.
Oh my
that-
gosh.
I'm into everything, I swear. Sciences amaze me. Okay, so the string theory is the fact that we're taught that we can only see in 3D, but we actually can see more. We can see time, we can feel time, we can understand time. We can see space, we can feel space, and we can understand space. So how can we only be in a 3D dimension? Like, for example, when you feel the chills, when you feel someone's behind you, somebody walks
Yeah.
past you, you know it, right? But you don't see it.
Right, but you're
It's
getting,
energy.
that's physics that
That's
you're
what I'm
getting
talking
into
about.
there.
String theory of relativity. It's
But you
actually
know what? Sometimes it's energy too.
that's the 4D. That's it. Bing 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 bing.
Yeah.
Bing 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 bing.
It's like if you close your eyes and you have someone across from you and you have your hands there, you can feel the, like they have their hands up and you have your hands up and you close your eyes, you can feel the energy from the other
Yes,
person.
that is true. It's the
Yes.
aura. That's what I think it is.
Right.
I always thought of aura as a visual. But yeah, I guess it can be. I think of it more as like an energy field, but I guess that's
It's science.
aura. Yeah, I've always thought
Oh,
of
it's
aura.
for energy, Dana. Yeah.
It's okay. When we say we're dust and stars because we're chemicals and atoms and all this stuff,
Yeah.
we are part of the earth. We are part of each other. There is a frequency that is not functioning between us.
Well, I agree with that.
Wow, that was easy.
Well, I mean, it's too much of a coincidence that we are the same amount of salt in our bodies as the ocean and as in all the animals. I mean, and then you look at, I mean, that's such a coincidence.
You make me so happy. We are mostly water. Water heals all. What do they go after? Our water.
Well,
It's for our plants so we can breathe and eat.
hey, maybe we're like Dune and the liquid oil or the liquid gold is actually water.
Well, that's what, okay. From what I understand, it goes with the flat earthers' beliefs that all these old cities were once waterways.
Right.
They were never meant to be roads. That's why when we see pictures in the 1830s, you have these fabulous cathedrals and dirt fucking roads with horse and carriages. How the fuck did anybody make anything like that with horse and carriage?
Well,
Our history is messed up. Okay.
exactly.
So they believe that these old cities had generators too. They also believe that the cathedrals and these grand stations like the one Dana was talking about in New York, Grand Central Station, they're trying to do it all over. There's no freaking way they did that. There was no freaking way. You don't understand the massiveness. Giants lived there. I mean, it's just, there's no way.
Yeah, it's pointless to have a home 50, 80 feet up if you're like 6 feet.
Some things make sense.
Like the pyramids.
Yes. Some things make sense, and other things just, you cannot convince us probably otherwise. is,
Yeah, and how was it the pyramids line up with Orion's belt so accurately?
it's getting like humid out here. Excuse me. This is another conspiracy we need to go into. When I tell you my whole life has to deal with conspiracies, guys, I fucking do not lie. I have no reason to lie. I could care less if you believe me or not, but this was my college. Can you see it?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, what does it say on it?
College of Staten Island.
Okay. Oh, it says Staten-
Willowbrook. I'll get into Willowbrook one day.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I know a little bit about Willowbrook.
I know a lot of. I was there. I've seen the tunnels. This is one thing you guys have to understand growing up in New York and going to like a lot of Catholic schools. They all have fucking tunnels. And you're going to tell me it's all to save the fucking priests from these
Yeah.
Let's
schools?
remove the
The
children.
schools are attached to the tunnels.
Yep. Yep.
New York had the train station put in. Why? Some of them are closed. Some of them that come from the port are closed. It might be, it's not the A train. It's an old station. It hasn't been open.
That'd be a
for
great
100
song,
years.
A-Train.
There's a lot of conspiracy and tunnels and all that, and I can't do it right now. It's too early. And I'd rather have my thoughts together to get all that.
You know, there was a movie.
That's
You
what
know how they show us. You know how they show us shit all the time. There was a movie I saw a few years back called The Meat Train, and how there wasn't much on it, but just empty cars and a few people, and people would get on it and they'd freaking butcher them up, and the one car was like a freaking meat rack, like you'd see in a slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
And this train would end up in this building, and then they would take them off. So I wonder if there's shit like that in existence.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, absolutely.
probably is.
Okay. So McDonald's, they shut down a
Right.
plant in Kansas because they were supplying, or they actually did tests on the meat there for McDonald's, and there was a large portion that tested human DNA.
Yeah.
Oh, that is.
I do not eat at McDonald's
Nope.
again.
Nope.
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 And that's what I'm telling
And
you. When you're awake,
they're not the
your
only ones.
life changes.
No, you're not. Yeah, it's hard to find anything in a freaking grocery store to eat. The crackers, the potato chips. It's like, what the fuck?
That's right. We
Well-
were talking about that earlier.
It's best to
And
do
they
the
spray
homemade
it.
around the area made stuff. And of
Yeah.
course, organic.
That's right.
You
Local.
probably have
That's-
better luck
Well,
with most
and even
organic.
organic.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even organic, I think they lie to us on that.
Yeah, they
as well.
do.
They do. That's why you
better
should have a
luck.
victory garden.
But
Yes, a victory garden. Beautiful.
a lot of the food,
What I wanted
a
to
lot
do,
of the food,
I'm sorry, go.
a lot of the food, or not a lot. There are many different types of food that they atomize human DNA, especially baby embryo type of things, and they'll spray it on the food to add
They want us to get
better
addicted to
flavor.
it.
That's disgusting. And that's Soylent
Yeah.
Green.
Right,
Yeah.
that's why Pepsi Cola, what I was talking about earlier, you can't just have one Lay's potato
Right. Or
chips.
Lay's potato chips. Everyone
They're
can
Pepsi
eat but
Cola.
just one.
They are Pepsi Cola. I'm telling you, stay away from that fucking company. Just, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
wake my
designed
family up
fucking-
fast enough.
Well,
Stay,
and then there's
Pepsi.
Nestle, Nestle's is a bad company.
Yeah,
Dana
he's
was
another
saying that about Nestle's.
Yeah.
I know that the water,
Yes.
that there was discussions about them poisoning the water.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what I have heard.
Dr.
What
Artis
freaking-
did a whole thing on that where he talked about there's two different snakes that one is the cobra, and I can't remember the name of the other one, but he did an entire presentation on this in a release earlier this year that's part of the sickness, that part of the COVID to get people sick is to do that, and that's why ivermectin, HCQ, and budesonide work so well, because They're natural, um, anti-whatever, the cures. Yeah, my brain
Anti-parasitic.
isn't engaged.
Anti-venom?
Anti-parasitic.
Like an parasitics, yes, there it is. And in
Okay.
fact, yesterday I was listening to something on the whole parasitic. Who was that? Oh man, he got into a great discussion on parasitics and how even cancer is a parasitic, and that's why if you take a look at the NIH website, they're saying that ivermectin can be used for certain types of cancer because it takes care of the parasites.
You know what else fits into that parasite thing? Clove oil.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yes. You guys are spot on. Keep going.
Wormwood. If you take wormwood, you'd have to. I got to get back into it, but wormwood, you take a small amount of water, like not large quantities, and you got different brands, and they require different amounts. But it all breaks down to a bunch in a little water. They say mix clove oil into that regimen. It's generally wormwood, black walnut, and you don't need much clove oil because that shit's so freaking strong.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe one drop.
Wow.
And that will kill a lot of parasites in your body. I can't say all of them, but we're loaded with the fucking things from the shit they put in our food. They put them in little small things. It'll grow. And they do.
Right.
You know what I've started doing, Dr. Zelenko? I follow his, I don't have his products, but I do the, let's see here. Yeah, quercetin. I don't know if you can see it, but anyways, quercetin. And so that has bromelain, zinc, vitamin C, and vitamin D. And then once a week, I try to take ivermectin. And I ordered ivermectin from India. And I have 12 milligram and 6 milligram.
I just get it
try
from
to take it once a week.
Central Tractor.
Central Tractor? Oh, for the horses?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well,
So,
it's the only
Dana,
one.
what does it taste like?
You can get
There's no
apple.
flavor. It's just like like you're taking an aspirin, you just pop it and that's it.
Oh, it's a pill.
Yeah.
Oh.
The one I
Here,
take is
hold on. I'll show you. I'll show
What
you.
you take is the what?
a paste. You can get apple flavor. The one I bought was like a broad spectrum. The last one tasted a little nasty, but I ate it anyway. It ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, man.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Then I have that was the 6 milligram. So here's the you can't see it, but anyways, there's a bunch of little packages here
Oh,
that
yeah.
have there's like 10 per, and and I take a 12 milligram once a week with the with Dr. Zelenko stuff, and
What else is good too is turmeric. And
Yeah.
if you take
yeah,
honey,
that's also
honey
good.
mixed
Yep.
with turmeric, it makes a really powerful antibiotic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honey and turmeric.
Yeah. But I because I smoke cigars, that's especially why I do it, to help protect against cancer.
Cigars.
Ah,
I was having a conversation with Jill about cigars earlier. Okay, can you guys see the screen?
pinch out for a bigger view.
Okay, I showed you this Dana the other day, but I'm gonna show this for a few minutes because I find it fascinating. I cannot help it. Tell me if you can hear it, okay?
Constructed with the purpose of energizing the water as it passed through and into different areas. And that is why many were designed with symmetrical archivolt structures. the Romans did not build these structures. The entire infrastructure of so many cities found across our realm are designed around canal systems. Look at Amsterdam from above. The precise geometric grid lines here are not roads, they are canals. And the sole purpose was to supply water from one area to another. The water was stored and manipulated for a variety of purposes in reservoirs, water towers, pumping stations, cisterns, and other structures.
After you
The
see
water
this,
also
you don't wanna
functioned to provide
think about
necessary
it.
balance.
Just give it
A
5
complex
minutes,
grid
guys,
of
not even-
electromagnetic production, distribution, and consumption would generate a lot of heat and magnetism. Water provided not only a balance of diamagnetism, but also ensured the entire grid did not overheat. When looking at all the magnificent generators and other instruments of power from the old world, we can always find water nearby, or the remains of water storage. Sometimes this is hidden primarily underground. Many do not realize that many so-called Victorian cisterns and reservoirs run very far under a lot of our cities. And other times it is a central characteristic feature of these structures. An example of which is what the controllers have redesignated as castle moats.
Now watch this shit.
The electromagnetic water grid was not just an energized version of what we are already familiar with in our cities and towns. It was much, much, much more. It was way more magnificent, impressive, and futuristic than we could even imagine. The grid was connected to central, bigger power stations, or what is more appropriately termed star stations. Sometimes these were isolated stations, and other times they comprise entire cities.
This is our
We are going to have to
world.
fly to a higher altitude for this. I need to show you.
And I did look a few of them up, babies. I did.
Hold on
Go
tight
do your own
now
research.
and keep your eyes open. Look.
Always knew it when I was trying. Knew it. Something odd. Did. He had it. Wow. Wow. Look at this shit. This stuff. How the hell did the Air Force never tell me pilots and artists Americans. Fucking Americans. That's within the left 400 years. Does this make sense? Like, you got the pyramid, you got the giant monkey and the spider, you got the leaning tower. I mean, what the fuck? Open your eyes and look. Ask why. Berlin. Germany is very important. I'm not sure why. Empire. Great. Oh, yeah. All the old How did we not notice this? Milan. Look how beautiful. Luxembourg. Or Luxembourg. Munich. Holy deal. Strasbourg. Which we haven't.
The sole existence, let alone construction, of these star structures is almost beyond our comprehension. As you saw, they are found everywhere across our realm, with undeviating geometric consistency. A wondrous impossibility. Perhaps they had some kind of technology that allowed them to view huge areas of land from above while planning and building. They were never forts. That is a fairy tale invented by our controllers. The stunning geometric precision.
Well, that's enough. You guys do your own research.
Very interesting.
It is, isn't it? It is. And that guy, that was I'm not actually sure who the documenter is, but that was Jim Crenshaw's video on BitChute, the Flat Earth. It's a 5-hour video. It is extremely detailed and interesting. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
So beautiful. Wow.
I'm telling you, when I visited France, right? I'm kind of making fun of these innate statues and all this beauty that was around. I don't even remember. I have a picture of it. I'm doing a backbend bridge. And we're inside. I don't know where the hell we're at, but I remember looking at the fields. And I'm like, it would take us hundreds of years to do this in Brooklyn, to make these beautiful labyrinths, like I'm thinking that. I was like 17 and I'm looking at it and there it goes. There it goes. It showed me right there why. That man showed me. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
I believe all this shit came out because of WikiLeaks. That's why Assange. Anybody have any ideas about Assange? Julian.
Yeah, Trump's got his ass and he's safe. I'm not worried about him.
Do you see any
I think he's
next
part of.
to
I think
Assange
he's part of
and
the plan
Trump?
to wake people up, bring information out.
Yep.
Yes.
And I've also heard that Assange and Trump are related.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I do believe they are cousins.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I did not know that.
Yes.
Yep.
I heard that Mussolini and General Patton were brothers.
Yeah.
You said that the other day.
Too.
That's odd, but I just don't.
Well,
If they're all on this, I don't know.
kind of makes sense. That might be why the Italians surrendered a lot. They weren't really part of it.
It's so hard to erase the history,
No.
Well, yeah.
It really is.
Strip away.
That's why the foundation of everything is extremely important. The one thing, and I will say this, the most important thing ever is believing in our Constitution.
Right.
Yeah.
That will keep us together. Nobody can break that. And America still has it. We have our Constitution. It is beautiful. It is a living document, which means we could take out all the bad shit. So I believe when Paul and Patch said that there might be a new Constitution, which is the
So actually,
it
there
would
is.
be the original
They
Constitution.
kept the original.
I actually saw it.
I love it.
Well, they've modified it and included newer terms and technology, or newer terms. But I saw a copy of it.
Why
Charlie
we're not
Ward
allowed
had a
to
copy of it.
understand the old terminology. You did? You saw?
Yeah. Yeah, Charlie Ward had a copy of it. And, yeah. I didn't save it. I mean, I can get to his website and I could probably download it
Right.
and present it here. Or bring it here.
Do that for the next show for sure.
Okay, I'll have to remember to do that.
Write it. That's what I do. Notes in my phone, notes on my pads.
What
They
do you
actually have
now,
the
Patch?
RV too.
Radishes.
It's all practice.
Oh,
That's funny. That's how my dad would eat. He'd like to have a knife and that's probably why I whittle. I whittle, guys. I'm a whittler. Right? It's called whittling. Am I saying it wrong, Joe?
Whittling, yeah. I like to whittle.
Whittling.
Yeah, Dad would keep them in the refrigerator sometimes. Put them in water, sprinkle salt on them. My
Right.
salt was in the back. I didn't feel like going to get it, but I should because it's pink salt.
oh,
Yes.
yes.
Mm,
You know what? I don't know if we said it while we were live, but it doesn't hurt to say it again. Tell people how to alkaline their body to help their immunity.
yeah.
Lemon water with sprinkles of pink salt. Himalayan pink salt.
It is important.
We should try some of the other salts and pretty purples, and I didn't know they had green and black.
Oh yeah. Stay away
wow.
from black, I think.
Black salt is at the other end of the spectrum.
There you
Because
go.
amount of sulfur, it will create acids.
There you go.
Oh, so we don't want to eat that.
There you go.
That
No
makes
black
sense. The
salt.
lighter the salt. It's the same with like anything, like shampoos, detergents. You don't want things to have color.
I do in my shampoo.
It's all right, Jill. Carolyn's racist anyway.
So the clearer things are,
Color.
usually the better they are for you. Like
Well,
it
that's
doesn't
better for you.
really apply to like sodas because they're all bad for you. Don't drink soda.
That's right.
Don't drink soda. Don't give these
I
people
did one yesterday because I wanted it with my sandwich, but other than that, I really don't drink a lot of soda.
Hey, if you want to have a Coke or something 3 times a year, 5 times a year, that's not bad. But people drink it every freaking day.
Well, I have a rum and Coke every now and then.
That's a bit different. At least the rum kills anything that the Coke could do. That's a bit different. But actually, Coke is better. I would say Coke is a better company than Pepsi, at the very least, people.
Yeah, Pepsi. They designed Pepsi to help freaking abort babies.
There you go.
Whoa.
See how we know same shit but differently? It's weird. It's weird. We all know a little bit, and it's just, oh, I love this group. I do. And there's a lot more of us, but people seem afraid.
Well, a lot of people are just too damn. I don't know what the hell it is. They're you know what it is? They're aware to a point, but they're not aware enough to the point where we've got to stand up and do and say something.
Right.
That, you know, they don't have a stance. And that to me is a weakness.
Yeah.
You know, I don't say shit all the fucking time, but I walk right into a fucking store and I'll make references and statements about shit.
Oh,
I
geez.
do.
You
I
know,
don't give a- what the fuck
Yeah.
people think.
admittedly, there's times when, and I think it's just a filter that I'll hold off, you know, like I'll be around friends and something will come up. Okay, for example, the other day, I was out with some friends and he said, yeah, I'm getting ready to get my my next booster and my flu shot. And it was like, okay, Dana, should you say something? And it's like, nah, you know what? That's not my place. You know what? And you sort of
Right.
run it through the filter. But, and there's other times that something else is said. And it's like, you could say something, do you, you know, type of thing. I
I know what you
I don't
mean.
always do that.
Oh, you have to wait to let others know. It's gonna come out slowly. I think it's gonna start this year, and by next year, people will the Masons will have gone. There'll be no such thing as the stupidity of these inbred, disgusting, idealistic, ugh, talented,
Swine.
swine. No, that's a good ending.
Well, you got
Poor
anybody ever
swine.
What
the
is
movie 300? Anybody see it?
I missed that twice. I'm sorry, Patch. What?
Anybody ever see the movie 300?
Yes.
That's
Okay.
the Sparta one.
Yeah, about the Spartans.
I did not.
Oh,
Okay.
it's good.
I haven't either.
I
There's
have-
reference in the beginning talk about these E4s, inbred swine that he calls them.
Really?
Yeah, King Leonidas has to climb this fucking cliff to get up here and meet these great fucking whatever, some sort of, I don't know, but they have to consult the oracle, this ball and whatever, and he had to pay him a gratuity because he knew that they were going to be attacked, and because of the time of the year it was, and I can't remember what it was the great something. King Leonidas went against all that, and that's why he only took 300.
I see.
That's why he only took the 300 up there to the little, what you call it. He wanted to hold, but they wouldn't let him do it, so he took 3. But the whole army did amass after they were killed. But that's what that was all about. Because he stood by his knowledge and understanding and said, fuck it, we have to protect Sparta.
Right.
So he only took 300 warriors up there, and they kicked some ass for what they were. Then in the end, they ended up dying, but they lasted like 3 days, and there was like a whole freaking boatload of people in the bay that a storm took out. There was like 1 million of them.
Huh.
And then, of course, the
Yeah,
soldiers
it's an
was like-
incredible story.
yeah, and the soldiers was like masses on. I mean, the freaking regiments were so big that the ground vibrated.
Right.
They took out quite a few.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
do believe
E4s, I
in these.
have to wonder what the hell they were about. You're not allowed to find out much. I looked into it a little bit, but
That's the
doesn't really
thing.
come
They
up.
twist these things. Now I never know if they're gonna. I haven't watched a movie in God knows how long. Like Jill and I were talking this morning about how Disney. I had an ex-boyfriend that used to say all the time. He was like, I don't like Disney. Very, very intelligent kid. And I'm like, I don't get it. Why? His mother used to like Dopey or Doopy or whatever, one of the dwarves. And he goes, well, they take all these sinister almost stories and make it cutesy. Like
Yeah.
the
That's a good point.
40 Thieves, the Prince and the 40 Thieves. I mean, this is people's heads are cut off. There's sodomy and
Well,
it's
that's the
nasty
way to
shit.
bring
But they made it into Aladdin and all this. So they're making all
bring
the
this shit out.
stuff funny for kids, and we're not supposed to believe it, but who knows? Maybe there was some truth to like genies on lamps and crap like that.
If you look into the story of Pinocchio, you can find it on YouTube. There's a breakdown. Pinocchio was actually a wake-up movie.
Well, yeah, they were
Wake-up
trying to
movie?
wake people up.
Yeah, it was a wake-up movie. It explains what the meanings of all this shit. Like little boys and whatnot, and it's. I haven't watched it in a minute, but it
Using
breaks
little
it
boys
down
as
and
puppets.
say.
And I even mentioned to Jill earlier that one of them, I don't think it's Fantasia, but one of the early ones with Donald Duck, there's a picture of a chalkboard in the background. He's at a doctor's office, and in the background it says ask about the Illuminati.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
Not in
I see
order.
that somewhere.
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry, Dana. You were going to say something.
I saw that somewhere.
No, I'm good.
Just find it. I mean, it's. Ugh.
Well, look at Monsters Inc. and Toy Story. The code for adrenochrome's on the fucking license plate in Toy Story.
Is it really? I didn't know that one. I believe it. I know that I know Nickelodeon had it. I know The Little Mermaid had it. I know there's a few others.
That shit's all over the place.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
mind's after you walk with it.
They're going down, 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 down. They're going down, down. Sing it, Joe. We're gonna take it down, baby. Woo!
I can't
Damn.
sing today.
Aw.
Voice is a little hoarse.
I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm not even supposed to be, sucking through a straw with this tooth out, with this graft in my mouth. But
Yeah, it hasn't even been a day, has it?
2 days, Tuesday.
Oh, it's been 2 days. Yeah, today's probably the sorest day you're gonna have.
My dentist is the sweetest, most gentlest, smartest man I know. I swear, he's a good man.
Aw.
Yeah, once he saw my husband for the first, I mean, because usually my stepson is around to take me.
Right.
John quit his job. He was able to take me and pick me up, and he got, he brought Hawkeye and everything. And the dentist ran out to talk to him because they all know that he survived 9/11 cancer.
Right.
I think they just respect it. They respect what he did. And
What did John do?
okay, so he got the cancer in the Staten Island dump when he was looking for body parts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what a job.
I hate to be so descriptive. And he did find,
Oh,
as
you're fine.
far as I remember, you know what? Let's not. But it's not natural for somebody to get melanoma on their ankle.
No.
And they were not wearing hazmat, suits or anything. So
Because there's down there in it. Makes sense.
he was wearing his suit and tie. And that means he was
Yeah.
wearing socks, as I like to call them, schnocks. And I hate to pat myself on the back, but I had, and I am gonna be very honest here. I watched an episode of Scrubs way back when, and I don't know, I liked the show.
Show was fun.
Yeah, I don't think they're part of it. I think they weren't part of it because they're kind of like the Roseanne Barr kind of people.
Uh-huh.
I think most of them are because they'll use the same actors and actresses. So you got you got like maybe 20% of Hollywood that's okay.
Yeah, you've got a small group, says fuck you to the system.
So I think that show may have been one of them, and they showed that cancer, when you're seeing something, a freckle, for example, and it's not round, and you see it starts to shape out, it might be cancer. The kid had it on his chest. He was practicing, he was what do they call an intern, I guess, or whatever they call them. What do they call them?
Yeah, an intern.
Yeah.
A new guy, right?
Yeah, like a new guy, And,
Yeah, intern.
And I took a look at my husband's ankle, and I'm like, I never liked this. He's Irish. He has a lot of freckles and moles and whatever else. And I looked at his hand. I never liked this. And now I could see I'm an artist. I could tell it's not fucking round. You don't have to be an artist, pardon me, but it was a little more obvious for me. I never liked it in the beginning. And he had bad legs, so I would always be massaging his legs. Bad circulation. I mean, he had surgeries beyond surgeries. He already had cancer in the knee before this. I can go on. He's battled cancer so many times.
Yeah.
But that melanoma was definitely 9/11 because you're stepping in asbestos and
And who knows what else?
what else? I mean, how stupid were they?
I
I
can't
love
It's a
believe
wonder
they
he didn't
didn't
have
wear
lung cancer.
hazmat. Would you say, Dana?
It's a wonder he didn't have lung cancer.
Some of them did. His friends, some of his coworkers, some of his friends. Yeah, they died of
I love
cancers,
it.
all different
I
cancers.
love that when the black smoke is spewing out of New York City, and experts say it's not toxic. I'm like, it's black as fuck. What do you mean it's not toxic?
No,
And you got rugs, fucking folders, computers, chairs, clothing, plastic, all kinds of shit cooking. And
I'm-
it's safe.
I'm sitting on
Okay.
my stoop. My brother comes home. He had to go over the bridge. He worked pretty close to the World Trade. He probably went over the Brooklyn Bridge and walked all the way home. Probably should. I don't remember, but I remember him walking home. He was in a black suit. He had black hair and he was white and gray. I'm like, okay, this ain't natural. I mean, he was covered and he was out of there before, probably before the buildings fell. They told him to evacuate. I gotta ask him. I just remember sitting there waiting for people in my building to come home, friends, relatives. Some people were very, very lucky. I can't even tell you. I don't want to go on about stories, but I lost a second cousin. She
Right.
gone back to work. She had a 3-month-old,
Oh.
and she had just moved floors as far as I remember it. She was working on one of the lower floors, like 18 or 19, and they had another company on the higher floors, and they just put her on the 88th or 80th that day. That day. I mean, that's beyond coincidental. Anna, poor girl. It might not come up as Anna because she had a full name.
I knew 3 people that died in that.
Yeah.
I think somebody went to school ended up in them towers.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to give out names, but what one of my parents' tenants. I don't want to give out names. Just call her Pat, right? She's a little thing, very feisty, very strong. Most Brooklyn girls are. She worked for transportation. Her and her husband. Now her husband, they had just gotten married, and they both lived in different areas. She lived in Queens. He lived in Queens, I believe Queens or the Bronx, and we were in Brooklyn. And they had just gotten married. They weren't sure where they were going to move to yet, but they were still living in their end in Brooklyn, right? So that day he forgot. He worked for transportation. So did she in the office, but he was all around the building. He would have been dead. He forgot his pass. You cannot get into the building without your pass. So he stayed home on 9/11. She went to work. Huh?
I said, cool, got it passed, but she didn't.
She went to work. But get this, and I am not making this up. When she saw it, she even said, I saw the wings and blah, blah, blah. Which that's another story. We were hit. They were telling us to stay at our desks and don't go anywhere. Hello. She was like, she like this little tough little bitch, man. She get out from under your desks, grab flashlights. She's like, follow me. I don't know how many people she saved.
That's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
She got out. She got out.
I have a flashlight. I win. Let's go, bitches.
They were on the 80-something floor. So
Wow.
Good thinking. Well, fuck. I mean, you got something like that going on, whatever the fuck it is. It's not a safe place to be.
Dom,
what are you doing
why
outside?
would you listen
Get
to
the
people
fuck
telling
out.
you sit in your seats? Are you fucking mad? Evacuate? Hello? You know,
The boat's sinking. Stay put. Oh, okay.
are you serious? I know. Some people are just meant to take charge, and thank God for her. I don't know how many people she saved. I really
Thank
don't.
God.
She took them all the way across the bridge. Oh,
You know what? I bet every one of them are grateful for her that day. I
Oh,
bet they're all in
man.
touch.
You
I bet
better
we
very
also
believe
much
it.
in
they
touch.
they also all got a trophy for the 93 bombing. They got a little trophy for surviving the 93 bombing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's including my
I mean, I've
my
seen
husband's
videos
father
and we
worked
talked
for
to
it.
firefighters back in the day. And you know, when the bombings went off, they're like, there's no way these buildings are coming down. You know, all of a sudden on 9/11, a fucking plane takes them down.
Yeah.
No,
It blew
Bullshit.
every fucking floor.
no, the fact that the Bushes had, they were doing maintenance on the buildings and, that they
Yes,
planted
every
bombs on
floor,
each of the
both
floors.
buildings, there was all kinds of construction going on in them.
Yeah.
And then they took all the bomb sniffing dogs out.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here, though. Move along.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Carolyn.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to.
No, it was a good story. It was.
It
You're good.
really is.
I give the people credit. Some people were they just knew how to handle. They know how to handle it. They
Yeah.
know how to handle these. They're born with it. And I
Well,
got
so many times we're conditioned to, to follow fucking orders.
right.
Right.
That one's ludicrous. I mean, yeah, the building's on fire.
You're
I mean,
on
you ever
the top
see,
floor. There's no parachutes in sight, which that I never understood. At least have parachutes, even airplanes. Is it that hard nowadays to have these baby parachutes? Like, I'd rather take my chance not knowing how to use one, you know?
Yeah.
How hard is it? Jump out and pull the string. They were so prepared to be unprepared. Do you
Right.
understand? There's no way. There is no way the Fort Hamilton stealth fleet wasn't there in seconds. I watched them practice. I've heard them. I've seen them. Something happens. Like, who was there first? The news reporters.
Coincidentally,
wake up, people.
We all just happen to be headed to New York City today, and I got like, yeah, okay.
Right. Just like they knew Hillary was going to win, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would go.
Hey, guys, I gotta go. I have to call the hospital today.
Good luck with that foot of yours, Jill.
Yeah, what a pain.
You stick it up
Good
somebody's
luck.
ass?
Yeah, I wish. I feel like doing that to my doctor.
Right. Keep alkalining your body. It's going to help.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. We love you.
Okay. Love you guys.
luck,
See you
Jill.
later.
Wait,
Later,
I'm
bye.
gonna take off too,
Bye.
folks. I'm gonna take off. Everybody have a great day.
You too, Dana.
Say something
Okay.
in the
Hey,
Drive
send
careful,
your
bud.
friends up. I'm in jail.
Oh,
Oh,
Dana, you want to say
Take care.
goodbye? You want to say something? You have an
Adios.
Adios.
Later.
Okay, that is an ending. Adios, senor. Okay, then I will stop recording unless Pat, you got something to say, Dwayne.
No, not at the moment. We covered quite a bit today.
I know. And now
Little
like
by
my
little,
tooth
little bit
hurt
we
and
put out.
my eyes hurt.
What little bit we put out collectively, we all know quite a bit of what's going on.
I do. I really appreciate it.
And it's different perspective, different views, different levels of knowledge, which, everybody's going to have. I mean, there's very few of us out there that know so much more than most, but there is some.
Yes.
But what I was getting at about the Constitution is they rewrote ours for themselves back in the day. That's what they did. Somehow somebody back in the day, they had the vision to save our original Constitution, the organic one.
Right.
They saved that. And that's the one we're going on now.
Who could have done that? Who?
It could have even been Lincoln.
Yes, but what I'm thinking is it was some kind of painter or scientist that was able to hide it, like a Da Vinci type of person. Not that I know if I believe in Da Vinci as much as
I don't know anymore because stuff they found out that predates Da Vinci.
That doesn't, you see, that's fine to me. You see, I do believe there's a story that Da Vinci traveled towards the tunnels, and was it Da Vinci or Michelangelo? It was Da Vinci, and he got lost in the tunnels for 2 years or something, or he was gone in tunnels for 2 years.
Well, what the fuck did he eat to survive?
And it didn't, but the tunnels, Patch, think about it. Tunnels.
Right. Well, yeah, he probably come up right. He probably come up at times and ate.
He found people in the tunnels. Could have been lizard people, could have been aliens, it could have been our people, it could have been the Masons.
Right.
They always needed people. They never come out themselves, so they always used people.
Yes, they needed people to do it for them.
Exactly. They don't like free thinkers. They don't like Renaissance people like us.
Well, hey, all right. Do you ever see the movie Skull Island? There's a movie Skull Island that came out with, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years ago.
What was
Whatever. The dude from Four Brothers is in it. It's about King Kong. And they want to go check this place out. I can't remember why and how, but they want to go check this place out. They go there and they find out everything's fucking huge. Like they get, you know how the walking sticks insect? Well, they've got one here that's like a log. You know, it's so big, it's like a fucking log. But when it sits down, it looks like a log. But it's actually an insect. But it talks about these tunnels underground, these great big freaking things they call them. Well, the big ones don't come out unless they have to. It's kind of like them. They stay underground.
They tell us in our movies, they're given ideas. It could be MK Ultra, it could be they know, it could be they're involved. I don't know, but a lot of them, I mean, it's never ending. There's too many connections. There's too many. If it was a handful, even if I could count it on my hands and toes, I'd be like, okay, I'm crazy. But there's thousands, hundreds of thousands.
It's not even close to a coincidence.
Oh, you got the Simpsons. The Simpsons is telling us forever.
It's up.
Send it to your phone.
Is good people spitting things out?
Yes.
I'll download the attachment and send it to your message.
But you know that fucking dick that owns the nuclear power plant there, what's his name? He's fashioned after one of the Rothschilds.
Which one? Where?
The one that owns the power plant there, him and Smithers. Smithers. Yeah, I can't think of his name.
What the hell, Mr. Wow, that's weird. Why is it blocked out of my head right now? Where's my?
Yeah, I have it in my phone somewhere, I think, still. He's fashioned after one of the Simpsons. He looks kind of, one of the Rothschilds. He looks kind of freaky and fucked up.
Well, of course they are. Smithers. Yeah. Smithers is the guy, right?
Yeah, Smithers is his little fucking
Burns.
Mr. Burns. Yeah, Mr. Burns is fashioned after one of the fucking.
Isn't it funny? That's his name, Burns.
Yeah. Kind of like Major Burns from MASH.
Yeah.
He was a dick.
And Family Guy said, I don't know, they predicted quite a few things They
Yeah, it
have.
makes me wonder where Seth MacFarlane sits.
It's weird with that. He's like, I think he's waking up. I think that's what happened because he worked with Green.
Seth Green?
Yeah. And he is definitely NG, no good.
Oh yeah. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah. He's a bad one.
Well, it's like what the hell was I gonna say?
Now we'll really understand why SNL had so many deaths. Nobody thinks of things like that. Hmm.
Oh, they had a lot of people died in Saturday Night Live.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's
Yeah.
a big conspiracy about
I
that. But
never thought
think
about
about
that,
it.
but I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, shit. Maybe Belushi was actually fucking murdered. You don't know. It's easy to say he was fucking drugging out one weekend.
Right. Right. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. And
a lot of them may not give a shit. They don't want to shut their mouths, but a lot of them just want to fucking live.
Saturday Night
So
Live,
shut up.
what's his name? Michael blah 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 blah, whatever the hell his name is. He's
From
Canadian. He's from
Michael who?
Canada. So
Michael.
yeah, that's how much I trust them.
Michael who?
The one that produces Saturday Night Live. Producer. The owner.
Oh, yeah. Has he always been the producer?
Yeah, hell yeah. Seems like he hasn't aged either. He seems the same as he was 40 years ago when he had people like George Carlin and the very opposite of George Carlin, you had what's her name? The Candace Bergens. That was the
Candace
first
Bergen?
episode of Saturday Night Live. Is that her name? Dwayne
Candace Bergman or something?
The one from Murphy's Brown. Murphy Brown.
Murphy Brown. Yeah, I couldn't think of
that
show.
show too. Boy, did I learn a lot.
Something. Yeah, Candace Bergman. I think that's close enough anyway. People.
They are the exact opposites because she, as much as she thinks she's so feminist and whatever, she's the stupidest bitch on the place of the earth if she doesn't understand the foundations of how a society is supposed to work. It's not supposed to be about you, me, I, stupid.
Well, it all stems from whenever it started way back in the day. A small group of people.
They were fucking MK Ultra. They're the hippies. They're the 60s hippies. They're fucking libtards. They don't know better. They were so hypnotized and they have no idea they were used.
Yep.
People like
way back in the day when a group of people back in the ancient history got together and said, "Hey, we could control everything, kill everything that opposes us, offer money, whatever, and we can run everything." And basically, that's how it started. However it started, but that's close enough. And that's what they've done. And then they've manipulated all these countries. So when people sit back and talk about, it's under a fucking dome of 6, 8 families, whatever, 13 families that run every fucking thing.
That's correct.
So it's everybody's fucking government.
How do people not know this by now? I don't know. I don't get angry. I just try to teach. Just understand that
it's just
sleeping.
The thing of it is, I mean, we all know that shit is fucked up from a small group. And then when people sit there and talk about, but a lot of us know that shit's being done. The best thing to do is sit down and shut the fuck up, listen and learn and share information.
Yeah.
And be vigilant and be alert. That's the only thing we can do. The military is taking care of this according to law, according to God.
Yeah. There's no way my military, my vets, obey Biden.
Right.
There's no way.
You and these people that don't believe in Q still, you can't amass anything of this magnitude without some sort of freaking collaborated plan.
Yes.
Some operation.
And it takes a long time. It took a long time. I honestly don't think Trump was the first man they tried with.
No.
which makes
No,
Trump
I've heard
more
of,
so mystical. No, I think
I
they
know
tried
they
with
tried with,
Ross Perot, and I think they tried. Oh, but the Kennedys, I think they were confused with.
I think they tried with what's his name, and I can't remember who the fuck he ended up taking control of the railroads now. That rich dude, and I can't think of his name.
You keep saying that about the railroads.
Well, yeah, but what Dana was talking about earlier was a guy back in the early days. I'm talking about the new guy here that's still alive. And he's like, I can't remember his friggin' name. I think I heard somewhere that they tried with him.
What? Oh, sorry, I missed that.
Um,
I was doing some ASLing.
the guy,
What I remember.
that's somewhere so rare. I can't remember his name. They tried. He was one of them they thought to get in and make president and do something with before Trump.
Not Perot?
No, well, Perot maybe, I don't know. This guy was like within the recent years after Perot. He's a guy that like has a lot of control over the railroads now. I can't think of his name. I heard that he was one of them that the military had tried with too. But at any rate, they got Trump and they got somebody in charge. Basically, they needed somebody that could get in there and set things up and help get things in position.
Yeah, I know. They had to have tried with a few people. I can't imagine who you're thinking of now.
I can't. Yeah. I mean, later on it might occur to me, but I can't think of who the hell it is now.
I'm on a lot of medication. I shouldn't even be talking. No, it's all right. It's interesting. You mean someone that went up against what year? Like
I don't within the last probably 15, 20, or maybe slightly before Trump. He really he buys up a lot of these MLM companies. I know that, but he has a lot of control of the railroads now.
that's very hard because if he's in control of the railroads, that means Trump's in control of the railroads. And that's why something else has to be done about the oil. Why didn't you tell me this?
The railroads would be another realm.
How long ago did he take charge of the railroads?
I don't know when. I mean, this guy's had control of the railroads for a few years.
The last decade, the last 5 years, 6 years?
Maybe decade. Maybe.
You are brilliant, Patch. I wish I could kiss that bald head of yours. Oh, I just figured a few things out. That just makes so much sense.
That's why it's good to talk.
I know. One day we will go through.
Well, ideas create ideas.
Jerry,
Stimulate the discussion. I think his name begins with a B, but I can't remember for sure.
Interesting. I'll look it up and I'll do some research on it. We're gonna do more topics with researchers. I better end this. This was fun, but I better end it. I hope everybody learns something and comes on and does some research and hey, I got something to add to that or just do something. I don't know. I don't know what any of this is gonna come to. I don't know if we're gonna get kicked off.
The more you start to realize.
I don't know if I'll brush my hair.
More and more I hear this stuff. Maybe there's something to it. It's not like it's less and less.
What's less and less?
I said maybe the more people hear the stuff like this, they'll start to wake up more.
I know it's hard to get. It's hard to get even people that want to come in. It's hard to get them in. It's ridiculous. It's like they're. Well, I guess not everybody has like the I don't give a shit attitude.
I'm hoping Kat can originally come in because Kat has a lot of knowledge too, but she's got a screwed up schedule. But I've talked to her off and on, and there's not much that she don't know either.
The one you invited into Mega Funk.
Yeah.
Could join Women Warriors. There's Mega Funk. There's our live Zoom. There's our channel Zoom. There's our YouTube chat. I mean, there's so much already. And that's all there's going to be. I am not going on to any other platform until Trump creates his real platform, because Truth Social Trump.
Yeah, I can't even get into it. It's like
I don't even care. It's on the Play Store now, apparently, but I don't even care. It's just another waste of time. Why didn't you go to an artist? Go to an artist to think, where's your 60 artists? I don't get it. Unless he just hasn't come out. But the one thing we cannot forget is that he is in touch with all our phones. Remember that? He did the text message to all of us. People forgot that. Baby, he's connected. He's connected to all our bank accounts. There's reasons for that.
There's a lot of shit people seem to conveniently forget.
Right. Don't forget. That's what we're here to remind you of, okay? We love you all. We are the Patriots.
I get so mad that, people, they're always so quick to, call us people who can think or follow Q. It's like they want to discredit us. So they want to act like, we got all the information here. This is the scoop. And it's like, there ain't none of this that goes above Q. You wouldn't have none of this without Q. Yeah. You wouldn't have none of this without some operation that was set forth to say, we've got to get these assholes out of control.
Well, basically, if Hillary had gotten into office, we would have been.
I really do.
Communist. We would have been totally communist.
I really do totally think Q was behind keeping her out of office.
Oh, hell. I love you. Yes. Absolutely. It was our military that got Trump in, and it's our military that let Trump lose this time.
I do have a lot of knowledge and insight, Carolyn. I do, but I don't know everything.
I know, but I love when you're on the same wavelength, because I've been thinking the same thing. It makes no sense.
When I found it, oh wow, that's a cool looking bird. He's like brown and black. I do believe that, they purposely let Trump win to expose the voter fraud.
Correct.
Can't arrest him for treason and voter fraud unless they do it.
Right. And they let him lose in 2020.
Not to mention the fact, if Trump's in the White House, how the fuck they're going to get all these kids out from underneath in there? The media'd be all over it.
Yeah.
So you get Trump out.
They had to have started. Well, you see, this is where John Boyd. Now, for those that don't understand who John Boyd, I mean, you guys know who John Boyd is.
Yeah, he's his
daughter, and you know who he is. But he was literally put, when Trump got in control of the Federal Reserve, John Boyd was put in charge of the Kennedy Center. Huge. Oh yes. And there was somebody else involved too. I can't remember who the third person was. Not as well known as like John Boyd, but he was someone. Darn it! I'm so bad with actors. I just less. That's why. But so yes, so he is totally. There are some actors that are definitely playing a role.
I do believe James Wood is one of them.
Kennedy Center, I guarantee, had a lab patch, had whatever they did to these children and people. It wasn't just sex or whatever. It was nasty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of these soldiers are asking to have their mind erased because therapy's not going to do it.
Correct.
I mean,
don't blame them.
Yeah.
I don't. I know. And I don't forget pictures. I'm just one of those people. I remember a picture.
A lot of people are going to feel like fucking shit, Carolyn. They are going to fucking break down.
I know. It's gonna really kill people. All day, by the way. All day military at work. I'm getting grayer by the day. Can you tell I'm gray?
No.
I should really stop this recording talking about gray hair.
You do got a little shine in there, but it looks good. You know what? Call it pinstriping.
I've been gray since I was young. It's hard to know this stuff and not turn gray. Yeah.
Call it pinstriping. You're getting your racing stripes.
You're older than my husband, though, right?
Yeah, I'm 52. I'll be 53 in like a week and a half.
Right, and John will be 53 in March of next year. So yeah, you're a few months older. just a few months, but that's interesting.
Yeah, not a lot.
And you're October, yeah, you're Scorpio, and who else?
Yeah, Scorpio is a
Wayne.
blessing and a curse.
Wayne is right before, no, right in between us. Right, Dwayne?
I share a birthday with Patch.
I thought you were, oh,
right.
you're the 27th?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. I knew you was a Scorpio, but I didn't know we shared a birthday.
I thought it was the 27th, 28th, and I'm the 29th. I thought it was like that, but that's really interesting. Maybe that's why we're on the same frequency.
Yes.
I
You know,
always had a very strange frequency with Dwayne. I even understood his mumbling from the very beginning.
about
His-
all this information that's coming out about previous leaders before the United States was the United States. You know, the artist Prince was running his mouth about that 20 years before this information was released and dug up. But he kept publicizing it, and look what it got him.
He, the artist formerly known as Prince, the symbol, he was ingenious and he was
Wait a minute.
good.
What if that symbol was telling us something? We should look at that symbol.
Prince's symbol, I remember what it looked like.
Remember when he changed his name from like Prince
You're
to
right.
a symbol?
I never thought about that because he hated Hollywood. You're right, Dwayne. He hated Hollywood in the worst way.
What if that symbol is a meaning of something? We should
I
look into
never
that.
thought of it.
Well, who the fuck would have think of it then?
When they really got started, they're Michael Jackson and Prince, and everybody thought Michael Jackson was the nice one. No.
Uh-huh.
There was nothing nice about that man.
They were born into this shit though, Dwayne. It's
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back.
decades, generations of taking.
I'll be back, guys.
I'm gonna end it here. Say goodbye. Bye. You want to say something, Dwayne? Really? You really? You could go on about Mikey J.
No, it's not that. And the railroads were actually taken over by the government around World War One.
That's what I know. So I'm not sure what he's talking about.
But they truly haven't been released.
No.
They're still controlled by the FRA.
They're controlled by the DC area. They're controlled by, yeah. So I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna look up what he's talking about because he doesn't. Sometimes I don't understand everything. We'll find out. I agree with you, Dwayne. There's some kind of miscommunication there because it even says I just picked up the sovereignty book and that's where I learned it years ago. That DC. Oh no, I didn't learn it from there. I forgot. But DC is or what? Who did you say it was?
It's the FRA, Federal Railroad Administration.
Which is, and who owns them?
Uncle Sam.
There, DC, right. It's the 10, it has to do with the 10-mile square law. And I always meant to go back and research that. But I'll be prepared for our next show or whatever, our next recording. Till then, take care, guys. Bye.